You've spoken the minds of some Nigerians by saying you wouldn't attend some of these meetings until, well, peace reigns in the hallowed chamber. If you look at what we have been seeing and looking at some of the states, a little earlier we highlighted what transpired in Benue State, where it was a fisticuff and a brawl in the house. Nigerians at this time would have thought that we would have learned our lessons as we grow in our democracy. Why are we still seeing some bickerings and so many selfish interests when it should be nationalistic in outlook?
Well, I just... judo and other taekwondo.
Well, I'm afraid we're lost. Okay, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Actually, the Senate or the National Assembly should not be an arena for displaying karate, judo, and taekwondo skills. But what we are having now is a crisis that came from outside of the Senate and now finding itself deeply in it. And I think the mistakes that were made from the beginning was the very fact that since after our election, there was no much effort being made to bring the senators together and then tell them that this is what needs to be done, this is how it should be done. And it was left for the philosophy of being for everybody and for nobody, and which ended up in nowhere, and it ended up in fisticuffs now. So if there is that effort that will bring, if there was that effort to bring the senators together by the party or by anyone in the rank of leadership, such issues will have been smoothened. But it was simply left on autopilot, and this is where we have landed at this time. And unless the senators from the APC decide to, in fact, bury the hatchet, work together, it will constitute a very big problem for the Buhari administration, because with a divided ruling party in the Senate, certainly many go wrong and many things will go wrong.
Senator Sani, the situation now, there are a myriad of issues that a lot of Nigerians would have thought the legislature would have looked at as soon as they resumed plenary, instead of going ahead working on issues about who occupies what, who occupies that. What can be done now, as in like an immediate solution, so to speak, until all these rips are sorted out, so that these issues are looked at clearly? Particular note is the economic issues, where some people have not been paid in some states, and the legislature, the issues about their salaries and the openness of their accounting system. Can there be a solution, an immediate solution?
Well, no matter how bitter it is, I believe that within today and tomorrow, the issue of the leadership within the APC caucuses in the Senate will be addressed. Whether after it was addressed, it will still bring people together, that is another problem for another day. But certainly that will be addressed. But I think the most important thing, since there was an acceptance from all sides that Bukola Sadeki is the Senate president now, there ought not to have been much problem with that, but it didn't prove to be so. I share your view that our focus of attention should be on pressing matters that affect our people in the states and everywhere. But we need to have leadership that will be able to articulate such issues. And it's not only about the Senate and Deputy Senate President. We need also other leadership positions in the Senate to be able to do all these things here to achieve result. And that is why we're trying to do that. But we have problems now, but I believe that within today, tomorrow, that will be over. The issue of unpaid salaries and other pressing issues of senators' allowance, particularly the wardrobe issues, I believe these are all issues that will still also be addressed before we close for the week. And I think that will be very much known by Nigerians.
Permit me to just step back a little bit. What's playing out in the Senate here looks like things, okay, a repeat of some of the things that played out in previous Senate houses, where the leaderships are knocked off even before they settle down to begin to run the affairs of the upper chamber. Do you think this might play out? I mean, if right now, at the beginning of the race, things look so shaky, do you think there might be problems in the middle of the race or towards the end of the race?
Well, you see, in every revolution, you always have a post-revolutionary crisis. The May 28 revolution, now we are having the post-revolutionary crisis now, whereby after doing with a common enemy, now we are also trying to battle each other within ourselves. And now, what we're going to have is that these problems are natural. They naturally will come. And if you look at how the APC came into existence, it was accepted to be a merger. So it wasn't one political party with one ideology. It was a coalition of interests, of forces from different sides with a common interests and aspirations to have change and to change our country. And then that was done. Now we are dealing with the details now, and that is where the problems comes into being. So I am very confident that at the end of the day, despite the hiccups we're having now and the problems and the challenges we are facing.
Let me quickly follow up on this point, Senator.
Together and move the nation forward.
There are those who say that, look, from that perspective, they think, look, this is just the beginning of, in their words, the end for the APC, because those groups, as you've spoken of now, will not trust each other again, and they will now start scheming whatever bills come, how does it protect their interest? That's how it's going to be for the next 4 years. Do you agree with them?
Well, when you have challenges like this, there is never going to be a lifetime without challenges and problems. What matters most is what do you do with them and how do you navigate for them, your way out of them and also address them. So I believe the problems we are having here are not going to be permanent. They're going to be temporary. The most unfortunate thing is that if they become a crack in the foundation, certainly the structures that will be casted upon it, they will have problems with them. But there will still be a process of healing and reconciliation will continue to go on. And this also needs the personal intervention of Mr. President himself in terms of playing the leading role in bringing people together. That is why I said the philosophy of for everybody and for nobody will not work in this place here. You have to stand for something, insist on something, the quality of a leader you need and the kind of leadership you need and also the direction that people need to tread in terms of trying to realize the programs and policies of your administration.
Senator Sani, we had a guest here in one of our shows earlier in the week who talked about the principles of development, that having elected the individual, the party needs to step aside and allow the elected individual to execute or to serve the people. Do you think that the All Progressives Congress might have missed it on this aspect?
You see, that is what I said. If you have like a party, call itself the Communist Party, you know there are set rules and that you are there with a certain dog to work on. But when you have a merger, people coming from PDP, CPC, NPP, ACN, you see people coming with the different tendencies, ideas, and focus. And also that one thing that brought us together was that common need to evict the bring about change in Nigeria. So it's going to work out to the best of our ability. The party need to have understood this and then immediately after the elections and then bring people together and say, all right, this is what we need to do. In terms of advising people on what they need to do. You can't impose your own will on everyone because people got their tickets by the mandate, by their own very constituency, and also to pursue programs in line with the manifestos of the party, but they represent, they are there as senators, as members of House of Reps. So that the party has actually missed that very opportunity which was available for 2 months. But I think there's still that very need for it to step in to bring everyone together in the best interests of both the party and also the government, because change is not possible if we will continue as disunited as it is in presently. There must continue, the process of reconciliation must be an ongoing thing.
You know, there are those who believe, who think that if the elected officials focus more on how they can serve the Nigerian people, then they won't be so interested in the kind of position they occupy or where the position is going to. And some others also think that the perks that come with some of these positions might be the reason why there's so much of clamor and the people are not willing to go by the party's recommendations. Do you think this thing should be looked at as well?
You see, for someone like me who is now in the Senate but come from the civil rights movement, and I knew that my integrity and honor is on the line. And I'm not there to prosecute anybody's war. I'm there to represent my people and also to make my mark as an elected senator, and also to do things that will be in the best interest of my country. And I believe if that is our main focus, many things couldn't have followed. And again, for me, who were called freshers, and I don't think we have much at stake in terms of leadership, because we are, by the institution and the rules there, excised out of those who should be in the position of leadership. And I thought people like me have no problem with whoever emerges. But the most important thing is that if once you have a divided Senate, nothing is going to move, and there certainly is going to be a